show. Yeah, we're all sitting in the sports lounge. I'm Michael Horn, along with producer Corey Marino, star of our show, the one and only Fred Dreyer. How you doing this week, Fred?
See both of you, and we're ready for a nice little show, a little visit with our fans.
Yeah, this is good. We got a lot to talk about. Football season, I can't believe it's starting already. What's going on here, Fred?
Well, every year it does this, and there's more news now than there's ever been before, and none of it's usable. What happened?
That's very true. Corey, when's the first game? Is it we have one more preseason game and that's it?
Yeah, we got one more preseason game, and I think it's around Thursday, like the September 5th or something like that.
How about those preseason? I think the teams are all ready to go. They've been working hard to get into big shape, Fred. What do you think?
Yeah, they're really pounding it out over there. Yeah, I was listening to a sports show on this morning early, and they couldn't help but just praise these fine athletes today, and they were talking about, training camp went so fast. It was such a tough camp. They play 3 games. And none of them suited up for it.
None of the players are ready to go. And you said this for the last 5 years or longer, that no one's ready to go. There's going to be pulled muscles. You won't know what team is going to be able to really compete until we're like 5 weeks into the season. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to that. And it's when they say you're ready, well, you just don't say you're ready without going out and being ready. You've got a whole list of things that they stopped doing, and that's because of the new collective bargaining agreement that they made about 5-6 years ago.
Unbelievable. Players get certain things. We're going to talk about that when we come back a little bit, about what the players get, what it was like in your day, what it's like now.
And how about Goodell getting a raise?
Yeah, we go year by year. You might be kind of surprised as to there's some big increases there. I don't know who's his agent, but I want that guy working for me.
Well, he's making more than the quarterbacks.
Well, we'll take a quick break, come back with more. Thank you so much for joining us. It's the Fred Dreyer Show.
I get so many headaches every month.
It could be chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for those who have 14 or fewer headache days a month. Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Why wait? Ask your doctor. Visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
Hi, everyone. Super Bowl champ Vernon Davis here from Legal Help Center. If you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, listen up, because we have legal professionals standing by right now to answer your questions for free. You can find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. The call is free, The consultation is free, and you can speak with a live agent right now. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident of any kind, call now to find out if you have a case and how much you could potentially get.
Thanks, Vernon. You heard it, folks. If you've been injured, call and find out how much you qualify for. Call 800-745-9090. That's 800-745-9090. 800-745-9090. Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
From the fabulous Sports Lounge at CRN Digital Talk Radio, this is the Fred Dreyer Show. I'm Michael Horn, along with our producer Corey Marino, and the star of our show, the one and only Fred Dreyer.
Yes,
Fred,
sir.
good week going. We got to get into this football stuff a little bit. Corey, our producer, give us the background here a little bit. Fred just mentioned salaries here for the NFL commissioner. How have they changed over the years, year by year?
Yeah, so he became the NFL commissioner in 2007, and he was making $6 million a year. And then after 1 year, they're like, wow, what a great job. We're going to double it. And then he made $12 million a year. And then a year after that, they're like, you didn't do such a great job. We gave you too much. Only $10 million a year. And then 2 years after that, in 2011, they went all the way up to $29.5 million
Big jump.
a year.
It's a big jump, double, triple his salary, just about.
And then he had to stay at that for about 8 years, and then it went to the whopping $63.9 million per year. And I think he's actually in talks. It's coming up now because he's in talks for another extension and a raise.
Now, Fred Dreyer, you played in the NFL. You had good people there. You negotiated contracts. Heck, you negotiated your own contracts when you were with the New York Giants and when you came into the Los Angeles Rams. That's a pretty good jump, $29.5 million to go to $63.9 million. You're the head dude if you're doing a great job, but is he doing a wonderful job for the NFL?
Well, he's doing what he does. Remember, this is a private organization, the NFL, and so he can do whatever he wants to do as long as he promotes the league according to what the owners want. You notice now that this is a worldwide, global deal, and most of the big money now generated in sports is World Soccer and the National Football League. They had years ago they had Marvin Miller negotiate contracts for the Major League Baseball players, and what necessarily happened was Marvin Miller cut one of the greatest retirement package deals ever for the Major League Baseball. It just really put the players and their salaries and retirement, the package, everything, their future. You no longer had to work at the car wash in the off season.
There you go.
And so and now the idea was Marvin Miller, after he closed that deal out, he said in the L.A. Times, he says, I'd like to talk to the National Football League Players Association. I'd like to represent them because they're sitting on a pot of gold. And Gene Upshaw, I believe at the time, was the Players Association representative. Now the player reps, what their job is to get as much money for the players as they possibly can, period. And one thing that they did was they got a great increase in salaries, as you now can see now as time's gone on. You got people making $50-60 million. Those are usually quarterbacks. And so what's now a kick in the ass is that while all of the Players Association, present day players, are making a lot of money, and they are well worth it because they're negotiating it and they're getting the money. The Players Association retirement group of fellows, which I fall into that category, all of us now have not had a raise in some time, and we've been told, and under no set of circumstances, that we have we don't want you. This is what Gene Upshaw told everybody before he left and then subsequently passed away. He said that nobody needs to hear from you. The money we're negotiating, you had nothing to do with. And he went on and on and on with it, and finally just came out and just said, I'm going to see to it that you don't get any money. And that was a bold-faced slap in the face.
How long ago was that, Fred? That's years ago, right?
10, 12 years ago, perhaps.
Yeah, longer possibly than that. So you guys haven't had a raise or a boost in your retirement, yet when you look at playing in the NFL, there's a lot of health concerns there. There's a lot of injuries as far as physical injuries. There's concussion protocols. They got tents around the field now. You didn't have, when you had a concussion, they didn't have a tent for you there. They just came and said, "Hey, Fred, get back out there again," right? I mean, they didn't want you.
As you see in the local news, is that they've now just resigned treating that stuff with
smelling salts.
With smelling salts, they come out and they say, "Hey, Dave, Jocko, how you doing? You want a little snort?" And they give him a little puff, and the guy's feet start kicking up on, slamming up and down on the ground, and he's out for a play or two or three, and there's really nothing else that you can do other than take the guy out of commission, take him to the hospital, get him souped up, get him ready to go to Betty by, and hopefully he's okay. And then you tell the press, what you found in terms and conditions of his health and his mental acuity. And a lot of this stuff is like I told you guys in this audience before, years ago when I would get concussions, they'd say, "Hey, how you doing, Bronco?" And I'd just kind of like stare at the ground, and they'd come over and say, as soon as you feel better, let us know. We'll send you back in. And I said, "Why don't you take a hike? I'm not going anywhere."
Yeah.
And so I got.
Was that your code name, Bronco, at that time, Fred?
Yeah, that's all. That's everybody called.
Everybody comes out.
Everybody who had a concussion
Bronco.
called everybody Bronco.
It's good.
And so I sat down on the sideline, and one thing led to another, and I just said, "I'm not going back in." As a matter of fact, I took my helmet off and undid my shoes.
Took off your chaps.
Took my shoes off.
Bronco.
And then I just said, "I'm going in." See you guys.
Yeah. Well, your good friends Vince Ferragamo and Jackie Slater from the Rams do an On Point Live radio show here. Jackie Slater, he's really upset about this smelling salts. He says, "Look, I can't bring my own smelling salts. And what a stupid thing. If you bring your own smelling salts, once you're out, is anybody going to know you got smelling salts on your body to bring your own smell? Well, what's the deal here,
it's
Fred?
like it's like flying in the airport. Before you get your seat, they give you a check down.
Exactly.
Before they hand you your helmet and your chin strap, they make sure that you've been checked out, and they give you the smelling salts, and they put you on the airplane.
So Rodger Goodell at how much did you say there, Corey?
63.9 at the moment.
63.9 million.
Looking for more.
Per the New York Times best guesstimate
per year.
there.
That's per year.
Per year. And I know the players are getting a lot, but I'm just looking at the past here when they could be taking care of the people that made the NFL great. That ain't happening, Fred.
Well, let me tell you something. There's a lot of ex-players out there who, in the earshot of my voice, who have no retirement. And
That's it.
And that's not apocryphal.
Email Fred.
That is the fact of the matter.
Email Fred on this one, Fred Dreyer at crntalk.com. What are your thoughts on this? Fair to the players of yesteryear, the ones that made the NFL great? Email Fred Dreyer, FREDDRYER, Fred Dreyer at C as in championship, R as in radio, N as in network, crntalk.com. We'll take a break, come back with more on this and a little bit more. Don't forget we're live in the chat room on Facebook Live. It's the Fred Dreyer Show. We'll be back.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-475-7125. 800-475-7125. That's 800-475-7125.
To break or not to break your stucco? That is the question that homeowners have to ask themselves. Do they want to do that? I think not. Hi, Aaron here from California Deluxe Windows. In more than 20 years, we learned how to make most beautiful, energy-efficient windows to make your home beautiful, comfortable, and more valuable. We do not break the stucco, and we install our windows so precise that your house can be covered with potato chips, and we wouldn't crack one.
866-988-5100. 866-988-5100. For the best custom windows built right here in Southern California, call Aaron at California Deluxe Windows. Get 20% off your entire project and 1-year interest-free financing in Chatsworth and Santa Clara. 866-988-5100. 866-988-5100. CSLB number 774518. Some restrictions may apply.
Welcome back to the Fred Dreyer Show, the one and only, coming to you on our flagship 790 KABC in Los Angeles, also on Sirius XM Channel 217, XM Channel 203. That's Saturdays at 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Also on the XM Sirius app, Channel 967, on radio stations around the country through the Sports Byline Radio Network and CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn, our producer Corey Marino, Fred Dreyer in the driver's seat here. So Fred, you talked about 2-3 years now ago. You talked to Rodger Goodell. Is this going to change? You think this is going to be status quo for the NFL?
Well, somebody from the retirement era, that's
yes.
my era, has to organize a group of young players who have recently retired several of the guys, who have put in 20, 25 years, and have a press conference. Be organized in about what you're asking for, and march into New York's NFL office to see Rodger Goodell, and let's get a newspaper following on this. And there's nothing more timely than a nicely replaced reported story that exposes a slight.
Yeah, a problem.
There's an incredible
problem.
Injustice going on here with ex-players.
Especially in the NFL with the health and safety concerns. I mean, even the players now worry about the health and safety concerns. What about those people of yesteryear on the NFL greats, those in the Hall of Fame, sitting there with injuries and stuff and concussion problems over there? These things need to be looked at a little bit, and possibly, instead of denying claims and denying doing things and saying there's conflicts here, let's get something done. Maybe we can lead the charge on this thing, Fred Dreyer.
Well, they had a little bit of a blurb a while back that I was a part of. We went back to Minnesota to see Judge Magnuson and file our complaints about other issues. And the overall was, hey, listen, get out of here. You're not. I'm not kidding you. You guys aren't getting a penny. You guys aren't getting anything. And then they put together some concoction that, pretending that, okay, you came here, the press knows you're here, they've been talking to some of you guys, and we a couple of us, myself and Jim Marshall and Jim Brown was a part of it for a little while. He came on later, but the issue was, hey, look, everybody here is blind if they don't think that NFL players deserve to have a pension as well as everybody else. Hell, grandma and grandpa out in the middle of America deserve to have a pension, and here you have a group of football players who are really hurting. There's some stories out there that that you would would break your heart to think that
I believe it.
People can't chew their food. They don't have a dentist to go to for the simplest reasons. And here's the deal. We're not necessarily. This is what we said at that time. We're not necessarily asking the league to be our dentist. We're asking you to give us money to the equivalent of us going out and getting our own coverage on a lot of issues, orthopedic issues, internal, such and such, and that we got nowhere with that.
Yeah, so hopefully we can shed some light on this, throw a spotlight on it, see if we can get something going on this, because it needs to be done. That said, Fred, we're a week away, can you believe it, from another NFL season. I don't see the players ready to go. I think there's going to be a lot more injuries, and here these big contracts come through. They look at the Rams. They got their quarterback is already. They're worried about his back. He hasn't even played anything in training, getting ready to go here for the NFL season. You think he'll start?
Well, it's not our business. Nor do I care how many people ignore the injury factor today. They're out there. They're mercenaries. They've always been that way, and they're practicing with the team and doing what the team wants, and then what you wind up getting, like for the Ram quarterback, he's got a disc issue.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford,
and so he's out there, and he's giving it his one and all. But the point of the matter is that there's no guarantee that in practice or getting in and out of his car that he can't re-injure himself. And that's a lifetime burden.
Yep.
And so he's got to make sure that he and his wife, everybody talk about it. And they've already been told all that.
You know, Corey, talk to us a little bit about the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones has spent some time explaining how he makes the Cowboys a soap opera, and he says he intentionally does this so that the team gets headlines. What's he talking about here?
So each of the past couple of years, his best players are in they're due for contract extensions, like Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and now the most recent one's going to be Micah Parsons. And he keeps waiting to the last minute to give these guys these contracts. And with what Fred has been saying, each year the NFL makes more and more money. So every year that he waits, he could have paid Dak a couple years earlier, but he waited, and now he had to pay the full price. And he does the same thing. And he says he's doing that because he wants his name in the tabloids. He says it doesn't matter about because someone researched it and said he's lost about $84 million in waiting on these contracts with these players. And he says, what's $84 million when I get $100 million every time my name's mentioned on ESPN for a week here or there? And he thinks the act of the Cowboys is more than will make up for his losses on contract.
Fred, do you agree with that?
Well, look, it's not. It's what he wants.
That's
like,
what he.
Hey, Jerry, you know, I noticed you're wearing a tweed jacket today. I think it sucks, but you know, how about you? Well, I've liked this tweed jacket ever since I saw it in the golf shop, and I'm gonna go out and play 500 rounds of golf before I sign one more player to $1 million contract.
Amazing. He says the Cowboys delay their key contracts. Historically, he waits and signs the players because there's been mixed success. There's been sometimes derailed contracts. There's been injuries. It gives him more publicity and attention. It helps his salary cap, because he can move it around later. He likes hands-on management. The injuries can cost him sometimes. He saved himself some money by not signing him right away. Is he part of a TV show this year? Are they showcasing the Cowboys this year?
No, thank God.
Well, no, they came out with they're coming out with a Netflix special called
oh boy.
the NFL. It was like the Cowboys, the gambler and the Cowboys, and he loves his gambler bravado, and he thinks that everything needs to be a gamble, and he's like, contract extensions aren't what they used to be. When I bought the team, I looked the guy in the eye, I shook his hand, and the number was done. We didn't have to write it down. It was just done, and I think that's how we should do things. That's what he was saying.
Oh, perfect. In the meantime, you know, your team's won like 8 games between now and the time that,
Yeah, they haven't been to a Super Bowl since '96, and they haven't won more than 2 playoff games.
You know, you got to go
years.
back and do a little research here. Maybe we should do that to find out the history arc of what a bad organization this is now that Jerry took over. It's okay if Jerry owns it, but as long as he hires the right people. He hasn't hired the right people. He refuses to. They ask him point blank, and he just says, well, I think my ability to run this team is none of your business. Well, it kind of is. It's a situation here where you've got all these football players that we pay to see holding out, not suffering through this childish action of playing a boys game with adult money, and so you've got a lot of issues here that Jerry refuses to acknowledge and address.
You know, looking ahead, a shout out to the old timers there. We got a lot of Cleveland Brown fans out there around the country, and apparently Joe Flacco going to be the starting quarterback. Did I hear that correctly,
Yeah.
Corey?
Joe Flacco at age 40 years old is
What
going
do
to
you
be the
think,
starting quarterback.
I think of all the people they have, I think they've got 4 or 5 the first 4 or 5 games of the season. The schedule is pretty tough on them. So
Bengals, Ravens, Packers,
they feel
Lions.
as though that Flacco's the guy that can lead them to maybe a couple games. If that's the way it's going to be, they're going to be like baseball, where they're going to be a bullpen game.
Isn't the Sanders kid on that team too, on the Browns?
Yeah, they got Sanders. They got Pickett. They got 4 different quarterbacks, and then they still got Deshaun Watson sitting there getting his massages.
He's literally in the locker room counting his money.
Yeah. Okay, break time. When we come back, we'll check the chat room. Yeah, that's right. We do the show live on Facebook Live. You can check it out, or go to our YouTube channel and check out the Fred Dreyer Show. It is Coast to Coast, the Fred Dreyer Show. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back with Fred Dreyer.
More fiber and laxatives, eh? Who are you? I'm future you. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1,800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
Investors, keep listening to learn how to get your free gold report. A currency crisis is upon us. The U.S. dollar has been the world's reserve currency for over 50 years, but that is changing. It's time to protect your retirement. Decades of reckless borrowing and spending have critically weakened the dollar. The U.S. has become the world's biggest debtor with over $35 trillion in debt. Plus, the dollar's become weaponized. Countries are dumping it. Investors who wait until it's too late could lose big. There is one safe haven: gold. Diversify your portfolio with a physical asset they can't take away. Call the Reagan Gold Group right now and ask for your free gold guide. Here's our number:
800-251-7963. 800-251-7963. 800-251-7963. That's 800-251-7963.
Get a little business taken care of here on the Fred Dreyer Show. Welcome back. Our flagship 790 KEBC. We're on Sirius XM, also on radio stations around the country, WRMN in Chicago, Illinois. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Michael Horn. Our producer, Corey Marino, is here, the one and only Fred Dreyer. Corey, chat room. Anybody got some comments here as we've been blowing up the NFL a little bit on the show?
We do, but the first comment we got to talk about comes from our very own Jeremy Dayton. He's in Thailand on his honeymoon.
Yeah,
he wanted to
on that honeymoon of his.
Yeah, he wanted to tell us. He wanted to tell us good morning and go Joe Flacco.
Yeah, see, I talked about Joe Flacco for the JD. That's it. He loves Joe Flacco. I do too. The guy comes out. He can give you a couple of good games.
Yeah,
he's going to win half his games.
He's He's definitely he whips that ball around. He's gonna have some pick sixes, but he's also gonna throw some long touchdowns and stay in there and handle the pocket.
Yeah, he whips the ball around. He can throw touchdowns too. That's good.
All right, and then we also have Martine Bailey, Rachel Joanne G. Shelley, Bruce DeGree, John J. Barrett. They're all saying hi, and then Gene Wilcox Chase says hello, and then wants to know who's on your shirt, Fred. Who is that?
Oh,
who's that person on your shirt right there?
Fred has a very nice shirt on for you radio listeners over there. It's kind of a. Is that an off-white
It looks a little
shirt?
baby.
It's my daughter's half sister.
Oh,
I can figure that one out. Molly. This is Molly.
Little Molly on your shirt.
This is when she was a young baby, and we used to go to the park a lot there in Santa Monica. And she was just perfect age. She would do anything I asked her. I'd say, go over there and sit over there and pose. And then we got these series of great photographs of her, put them on T-shirts, and kind of gave them to the family a little bit, you know.
Why don't you open them up and sell them? I think we got enough people over there on the Works For Me Fred Dreyer website there. The Facebook page Works For Me.
Well, we've got a lot of ideas for shirts, and they're pretty funny.
They're pretty good. Speaking of promotions, by the way, since we're talking about that, this big, they're blowing the lid off this Mid-Atlantic Nostalgia Convention. This is the stars of Hunter going to be reunited, and you did this once before. It was huge in Burbank, California, but this is going to be a big, grand weekend when Fred Dreyer gets together again with Stephanie Kramer, known for his role as the tough Dee Dee McCall. Rick Hunter, Dee Dee McCall.
What was
reunited.
her nickname? What was her nickname, Mike?
D.
No, Brass Cupcake.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. I don't think about food much anymore, Fred. There you go. Brass Cupcake.
That's all right.
She's a tough cookie, I'll tell you that. Oh, no, that was your name. I forgot. Okay, so this is going to be September 18th through the 20th. And since Jeremy Dayton is tuned in, this is going to be in Maryland, in the Baltimore area. It's going to be at the Sheraton Baltimore North Hotel at 903 Delaney Valley Road in Towson, Maryland. And you can get there by finding out more going to the Mid-Atlantic Nostalgia Convention. And you're going to be signing autographs there, Fred? Is that the general plan?
I'm going to do some exotic dancing.
Yes. That's good. Bring your cameras, everybody. Fred will sign those autographs. And Dee Dee's going to sing, I think, right, while you perform?
I think so.
Yeah, Stephanie will go singing while you perform the exotic dancing. Again, mark it down September 18th through the 20th. Fred Dreyer and Stephanie Kramer back together again as you love them. You're on TV everywhere. Roku, the Roku channel, has you on there for free. Anybody wants to see it, get the Roku. I love Roku because you can just search CRN Talk and you can watch our show. You can see the live show going on. You can listen to all 8 channels of CRN Talk audio. It's a very good app to have on your TV, and they make the Roku TVs already built in, or you get the Roku stick and stick it in there. But this also has the Roku channel where you can watch Hunter. Good show. Anything new coming up on that, Hunter? Is there going to be maybe a Hunter Revisited coming up?
I don't think so. You know, we did our share of shows,
yeah.
And 157 of them, and then we did about 6 movies. I think that's about all you can do. You know, you whip that franchise a little bit, and you'll get some sweet juice. But the trouble is that networks and look at these people such as myself and Stephanie who have series. Although they're famous, they glow and run like crazy in syndication, not original shows. So this is what we're looking at, and there'll be a lot of fans there showing up, taking pictures and signing autographs, and it's always a pleasant, joyous get together every time we do that.
Should be good. It's always, it's a joyous and pleasant get together is when the Dodger bullpen eventually is all healthy. In fact, the entire staff is healthy, and we actually have pitchers all year long. The Dodgers have signed How many pitchers is it now? 80 some odd pitchers. Corey Marino, producer here.
It's about 79.
79 and counting.
And they've all been on the DL at one time or another, and they're coming off now. Who's scheduled to come off the DL list?
We got, so right now we have
Roki, right?
Yeah, Roki's working back. He's the slowest one at the moment. Kopech and Yates and Tanner Scott. So Kopech was our right-handed flamethrower that did pretty well in the playoffs.
He hurt his knee, didn't hurt his elbow.
We like Kopech.
Yeah.
We like that.
Yates, of course, Rowdy Yates was on the old Rawhide TV show as the cattle drive. So,
but this one's Kirby.
This is Kirby Yates. So that's Rowdy's
lower
brother.
back, which you don't like, and then Tanner Scott left elbow. Those were our two big off-season acquisitions. Tanner Scott got the money, and Yates was one of the best closers last year. But they both came in this year and have not done a single thing, and they just keep getting hurt. Yates has been on the IL at least twice. Scott just finally went. They're both doing their rehab starts and should be back. They said maybe by the weekend to do the San Diego. To face San Diego in San Diego.
Yeah, this weekend is a big San Diego showdown in San Diego. Dodgers swept San Diego last week. It looked pretty good, going into Colorado, but they lost that first game. But the main surprising thing in that second game in Colorado, that guy Alex Call finally woke up and what did he go? 4 for 4?
4 for 5, I believe. He
4 for 5,
and he was a triple away from the cycle. He got his first home run as a Dodger.
He's making Conforto look real bad.
That's not hard to do, though.
Conforto hasn't got a hit since Moby Dick was a minnow.
Michael 0 for 4 no is what we like to call him.
Yes, 0 for 4 no.
And Dave Roberts taking him under his wing and talked to him. And as he talks to him, I don't know what's happening there. Get that Alex Call out there. Let him play for a while.
Yeah, and then they're in Wednesday's game, they're giving Mookie Betts the day off, so they have Rojas and Freeland out there, and then in the first game...
Let me ask you a question. There's a controversy going around that Mookie Betts would go to right field because Teoscar Hernandez can't handle right field. They move him to left and put Mookie Betts out there. Gentlemen, Corey Marino, Fred Dreyer, your thoughts on this?
No, he's not moving.
I don't think so either.
No. Look, you won it. You won the game. You won the World Series last year.
Good shortstop.
And he's a good shortstop. He's better than average. And let's just move on and start hitting with runners in scoring position.
I don't disagree. We definitely are losing because we're not hitting with runners in scoring position, but the defensive liability that Teoscar isn't right now.
He's hurt. That's the reason.
And if it's not Mookie, just play Teoscar in left. I don't care if it's not Mookie. Just stop putting Teoscar back.
Put Alex Call over there.
Put Alex
right.
Call in there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. And then once the Dodgers get their players back, then you can try and figure out where you need to place them in. But Teoscar's been hurt all year, and it's hurt him offensively. He can't get a jump on the ball during the routine fly balls, and it's cost the Dodgers defensively. But they just, again, you're right. It doesn't really matter because they're losing these games because the bullpen at the end is tired from playing a lot in the beginning of the season, and they're not hitting it with runners in scoring position. If they hit with runners in scoring position, it's hard to beat someone when you're up 11-0. Instead of being only up 3-4.
Well, the philosophy here, Mike Horn. You are Mike Horn, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. That's correct. Sometimes known as James Bond.
The issue here is last year the Dodgers won a lot of games and subsequently just peaked and did great, and they won the World Series. Well, this year, they're having to do the same thing, but they're not winning these games with a tired back end bullpen. They can't seem to win games with young, unimproved relief pitchers, and the people they're having to use now are young kids who aren't really proven.
Well, hold on a second, because Alex Vesia went to the Dave Roberts there in that one of those Padre games and said, "Hey," or was it the Rocky game?
No, it was the last game of the Padre game.
Yeah, he says, "Let me get out there and I'll pitch the 9th inning for you. I can do it." And he got into that Vesia mode where he looks like the Mad Russian there, Al Rabowski, who used to be with the I believe, with the Cardinals years ago. And he went out there and closed the game down.
Yeah, well, good for him. And he also, gives up gopher balls. And they're all going to. You just want to make those gopher balls one-run home runs. If you start giving up 2 and 3 run home runs, you might as well go home.
And I think one of the main differences between last year and this year, because if you look statistically and everything, the Dodgers aren't different off. But I remember we talked a lot last year on the show, is they were winning a bunch of comeback games. They came back from behind, and I think they won the most in the league last year. And I think that's the difference this year. Is they're losing these close one-run games, and the Dodger fans are feeling it instead of the joy from winning in the ninth inning, getting it stripped from you in the 9th or 10th or 11th is just gut-wrenching. And Dodger fans, they lose faith or think they're champions with every win or loss.
Yeah.
How about those Yankees? They hit a bunch of home runs in a row, didn't they? Are they waking up a little bit?
They're waking up a little. That's some crazy stuff. We remember early in the year we were talking about their torpedo bats, and that story kind of all went away.
Yeah, what happened to the torpedo bats?
I don't think they worked enough.
The season's so long, it's a gag.
Now they got these pencil neck geek bats. Did you see those things that look like a pencil?
Yeah, it was for the Players Weekend. There was some people had lightsaber-looking ones. Pajes had a one that looked like a big rubber pencil eraser. It was pretty cool. I thought it was funny.
Well, as long as they hit home runs with them, there you go. But it was Judge and Bellinger and Stanton that came in, and they hit like 9 home runs in a game.
They hit 9 home runs, and they broke the record because they hit 9 home runs in the first series of the season, and then they hit 9 in this game, and it's the first time a team's ever hit 9 home runs twice in a season.
Yeah, pretty incredible, I'll tell you. This show is just flying by here today, everybody. I don't know what to say for you here. What about this rumor that Boston, who traded away their guy to San Francisco and got Bregman from the cheating Houston Astros, the Dodgers would go after Bregman? No way. The guy's from the Astros. He's a cheater for life. Am I right?
Well, we don't know what his participation in that fiasco was back in 2017.
Fred.
What?
It's a fastball. It's coming at you. Come on, he's a cheater forever.
Well, we don't know that.
We'll take a break, come back with more. We'll resolve this in the final segment of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fred Dreyer Show will continue. Stay with us.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to DrSheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit DrSheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
1 out of 2 Americans thinks their life is worthy of a book. Here's another startling stat. You may be one of the 15% of people who bothered to start your book and one of the 6% that got halfway through it, but your gem of an idea likely died. Or did it? Some published authors are making significant money, so join the ranks of the successful people that finish their books with help from Dorrance Publishing. Call right now and our experienced editors and writers will explain to you what it's going to take to get your book completely written, published, and then taken to market to sell it. It's a free consultation, so call right now. Find out how much time and money it takes to finally get that book idea of yours published. Make your dreams happen. Call Dorrance Publishing right now.
800-786-1468. 800-786-1468. 800-786-1468. That's 800-786-1468. You hear that? That's the sound of uncertainty lurking under your hood. You know the feeling. I know I do. That sudden sinking sensation when you see a check engine light or your car unexpectedly breaks down and you're faced with sky-high repair bills. It's time to shield against unexpected repairs with CarShield. CarShield is America's most trusted auto protection company and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Don't let the fear of a breakdown keep you up at night. Trust the Shield, CarShield, and say goodbye to terrifying repair bills and hello to peace of mind. Your plan also comes with 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental car options, and so much more. Don't wait till it's too late. Call CarShield now before a breakdown. Protect your wallet. Protect your car with CarShield. Get our best protection ever. Call now. You'll thank me later. 800-824-7094. 800-824-7094. That's 800-824-7094.
We're back. It's the Fred Dryer Show, the one and only Fred Dryer Show. You know, as soon as this show is over, it turns into a podcast. You can get all the past Fred Dryer shows at crntalk.com, or better yet, go to your favorite podcast platform, whatever that may be, Spotify, Google, Apple, and just search the Fred Dryer Show, and it'll come up. Or dial on your phone. You take your telephone, you dial pound 250, pound 250, hit send. When the call is answered, say, find my podcast, and they'll say, what podcast? You say, the Fred Dryer Show, and they'll load it right up on your phone for you. You can listen to it time and time again and hear all the great ins and outs here on the Fred Dryer Show.
Yeah, that's a nice little treat for you if you're stuck in the freeway or on the subway.
Yeah, on a plane ride, whatever, you can listen to the Fred Dryer Show.
That's a good idea.
Again, a reminder, Fred Dryer, Stephanie Kramer are going to be at that big Sheraton Baltimore North Hotel Mid-Atlantic Nostalgia Convention. We mention it because Fred's going to be gone that week, and he's going to be there signing autographs and a lot more, and apparently doing some kind of exotic dancing. So those of you might want to...
Interpretive dancing, Mike. That's what it's called.
You have always been amazing. You've had two great careers. One, of course, as the NFL great in football, and then as an incredible actor, and now as an artiste. Doing interpretive dancing. This is something brand new.
Yeah, it's really been a good thing for me.
Did you turn your house backyard into a dance studio for yourself?
No, I haven't actually.
Just doing this on your own.
I just spring into action when the mood hits me, and I just have been so blessed with the ability to to sway people off their ideas by dancing in front of them.
Your rendition of A Tulip in Bloom is one of the all-time greats. Anyway, I could go on and on, but the show, we're out of time here. Thank you so much, Corey Marino, for producing this whole dang show. Thank you all for listening to us. Email Fred Dryer, freddryer@crntalk.com, FREDDRYER, Fred Dryer at CRN, Competition Radio Network, crntalk.com. Check out Fred on X, Fred_Dryer, Facebook Live /The Real Fred Dryer. And some final thoughts now from you, Fred Dryer, to finish up the show.
I'm going to make it my number one task to get a hold of Rodger Goodell and wring some money out of him.
See you next week.
If anyone should ask, you're listening to CRN Digital.